importantly, which buff is going to be contested here. Because if they guess wrongly, it's like, oh no, they're not on their orange buff. I've wasted too much time. It can be a little too late. So let's see how this goes, and more importantly, the lane assignments.
And it's time to go into the Celestial Palace, and I am gonna throw you to our casters, Gideon, Leo, and Contra. Take the floor.
You know, potentially this is gonna be the final game between this best of 5 series, or unless RRQ is gonna change the tempo of the game. But speaking of which, we're already seeing Vin being pressured from the get-go, and well, has to get himself regenerated.
Yeah, just look at the way they opened it up. They sent RubyDD in just because they know he can get out no problem. Maybe he walks in safely, at least no problems there. Top side's going to get pressured, bottom side get a little bit of a push, but more importantly, they have mid-prio, so they know exactly which buff they're going to go on before actually looking to consider the invade.
Yep, and right now, as we expected, maybe alongside Kid even, forcing out the time for Albert to take that buff, although not as fast or not as slow as they wanted to, so we're still relatively at equilibrium. But yeah, this is going to be R7 on the side lane show. Their tank here is going to be Psycho. Now maybe comes in.
Yeah, maybe now a bit too much more than he could chew. The rest of Burmese Ghouls is not going to be giving him any sort of helping hand, but he might be walking out. First blood for RRQ.
And what did I say? Not going to get as much value, even though he did take the Purify as well, which is really good. A really good shout too. Maybe understanding this, like, yes, there is quite a lot of CC there, so I got to be a little bit more careful. But again, once you get onto that blue side, there's only a few brushes that you can work with, and if you get hit by the Cosmic Lance, it's game over.
Indeed. Now, of course, a lot of pressure on towards the top side. Blazing to it already used up, but nothing too lethal for D to deal with. And Turtle's coming up next, knowing there's no Blazing to it. This is going to be some pretty good deals for the side of Burmese Ghouls if they really want to contest.
Given how crazy games 1 and 2 went, I'd like to just comment on the overall lineup, and especially how they're behaving. This is relatively tame. Like, it's come down. Like, after all the diggy action from game 1 and 2, like, we've gone back to the basic 1-3-1. Like, this is interesting to see how these two teams are going to be pushing the envelope and seeing how far they can take it. Now, Mountain Shocker here by Ace, and they catch out Psycho.
Wrong place, wrong time. Psycho definitely had seen better days, for sure.
You definitely hate to see it.
Like, things like this, you can't really commit such errors in such a point in time, because we're talking about this game of death. They might just drop towards the lower bracket, but for Kit, though, he's having a lot of chunk of helping to get out, and then caught out, flickers away, but the dive is already being set. RubyDD tries to go in for the X. He's a little bit too deep in towards the turret range as he soaked a couple of all these sort of tabs, but you can definitely see Psycho still going at it over on towards R7. He's still staying in lane.
Yeah, and Lapu Lapu Lemon is on the bottom side. He's going to get a good amount of gold there. Benedetta finally catches up, but she is low. Lemon, he pops the ult. He wants to go for the kill so bad. Flickers right on top of him. Doesn't even give him the chance, but Kid looking for the return kill.
I don't think that Kid could possibly do much here after everything expended, including the flicker, has already gotten him a little bit of safety ground, but RRQ already pulling the turtle out. But look at D, though. He's coming from the backline. Death Storm and towards RRQ as they put in a challenge, but look who's arrived. Blazing to win, and the rest of Burmese Ghouls, they got caught up with a weight of the dragon as well. Maybe goes down. Double kill going for the side of BG.
A late response here by RubyDD, popping the Electo final blow, not even landing most of those slashes from behind. Gotta note, I think RubyDD, this is a good call to actually rotate and leave bottom lane, because Lemon's doing something right there, because I think RubyDD should have the advantage. He has the high-end dry, he has the whole kit of Benedetta, and against Lapu Lapu, you should be winning more fights than you're losing, so I don't understand. So now I get why he went up here. This might be greener pastures.
Yeah, speaking of which here, R7 obviously will have to just give a little bit of the circle away, and Flicker being popped up. Close one.
Not in range of the darkness, but down on, the greener pastures here, D is taking quite a beating, and the Sandstorm Guardian, Quicksand Guard is not going to be enough to take it out, and RRQ going to profit off of this, while BG up on top of the top side is going to be trading 1-for-1.
It's a mirror. It's a mirror. A little faster on RRQ, though. Oh, sorry, I'm a little faster on Burmese Ghouls, but the gold lead is still very significant, about 1,500 here for RRQ in about 5 minutes time.
Yeah, and we've already got 4 kills on Albert. Unless if they can shut him down right now, then maybe it might just be a little bit of even terms, but we definitely see that they need to actually get Ace back of a hit. And speaking of Ace here, he gets caught by Psycho and he gets bursted down by Sylvana with great Imperial Justice.
Wow, that was really smart. Vin sets it up and, oh wait, hold on, it's not over. Maybe he might be in a little bit of trouble and makes sure that he shows his recall. Can't catch me, but yeah, smart stuff.
Oh no, RubyDD gets caught out after the Electro final blow. Still catches quite a few bullets from Albert here, and underneath the turret, that's Burmese Ghouls losing this fight even on their home turf. Kid couldn't take down Lemon. That's 2 for none.
Yeah, and slowly but surely, RRQ Hoshi is getting all these sort of leads, and speaking of which, Ace now in trouble once again. Psycho takes all the damage. Wow, look at Vin. He's slowly becoming that mage monster, and D can only hold on for so long.
This is interesting positions to be in here, for sure. For sure. But RRQ Hoshi finally getting Burmese Ghouls to play their own game, but now the Brilliance comes out.
Oh, Albert here returning with the Blazing Duet, and he times it so perfectly. They underestimated what the rest of RRQ Hoshi could have done, and he pays the price by popping the Brilliance for an offensive round.
Yeah, maybe here wants a little bit more. He is going to be a little too aggressive, a little too haughty for my taste here. 6 minutes, 30 seconds in, there's a turtle up. I think Ace is just, I don't know, poking the lion. Might get bitten here. Real quick, I think an item check would be in the right timing, because after that turtle take, we're sitting at a close to 4K deficit behind for Burmese Ghouls. Albert already has the Demon Hunter sword. He already has his machete, and I'm pretty sure that's next going to be a golden staff.
This is pretty huge, but now RubyDD caught in the Imperial Justice is a full-on fight.
Yeah, this is not looking all too good. They get one free pick, but R7 is just going to be walking on top of maybe and says, oh, you know, there's not going to be any threat. I'm just going to take this free turret. Okay, great work. And there's nothing that Burmese Ghouls can actually gain out of, but they're already setting up shop here. Lemon goes in to dive on towards maybe once again. As you can see, Kid does all that he can just to take Lemon, but it's been costing a lot. Mount Shocker now spots out the rest of RRQ, but over the mid side, D goes down.
They want to get some more Brilliance. Comes out perfectly. Great dodge, but that's not going to be with the Blazing Duet comes through. Rotations to try to slow it down, but it's not going to be enough. It's going to be a full-on chase coming in for the Burmese Ghouls.
They can't finish. Oh, finally one for RubyDD. And from the back, a little too deep. Nice knock-up by R7. That's going to be Ace trying to run away. That Yusen Shin survives. And up front, it's RubyDD dancing. Albert finally ends it. 3 for 2 is the final tally.
Somebody's got to stop Albert, and as much as they try to do that, RubyDD has expended everything he can. Electo, you name it. Like, they can't get a grasp on towards this really slippery clod. And, you know, for Lemon as well as R7, they say, okay, it's worth it to just buy a little bit more of the attention heading in towards the tier 2 over the mid side. And well, call for that sort of the exchange. Now 15 seconds towards the next objective here. Can Burmese Ghouls contest?
Well, to be fair, there is no lock on Burmese Ghouls, right? It's only maybe. Maybe has to hit him with the 2 over and over again, and then that's it. D, it's a huge ult that you catch, but hold up! Way of the Dragon!
Way of the Dragon has been expanded here. Mounting Shocker as well, as they force a way to go on a retreat. But Lemon wants this fight. He's going right in, tries to look for Kid, but you can see Psycho jumps right in, tries to get him with the Imperial Justice, locks him down as R7 gets the kill. The next one will be D as he tries to run for his life, but now all he can do is just to hold on to the rest of the members of RRQ, and the rest of Burmese Ghouls get a little bit of breathing space to retreat.
They have to breathe now. They finally get to breathe, but Albert, he is just absolutely gigantic here. He's got 7 kills under his belt, level 13 in comparison to Kid, who's only level 8, and not to mention that Ace, only level 12 here. Like, Ace really needs to make a play, but Psycho, he's going to find the first catch, but I don't think they're able to capitalize on it just yet, and this is what they've been doing between Psycho and Vin. Vin has been sending Psycho into these really awkward positions, and if the Burmese get caught out, that's when Psycho jumps on and the rest of RRQ pounces.
Yep, that's the fanciest face check I've ever seen. You had to use the diversion just to see. Is anyone there? You could have walked it, but here's another one, obviously. I think the fact that Vin and Psycho have been pulling this off means Mountain Shocker's not enough. There needs to be more vision. There needs to be a little bit more information outside of Burmese Ghouls to get back here and to give Ace more space. But right now, it's looking like RRQ Hoshi's owning the map. They are ahead about 7,000 gold. For the first time in this best of 5, RRQ Hoshi is obviously in the lead now. Wave the Dragon on to D.
Yeah, and it seems like they do miss the Sandstorm right there, but RubyDD is going to be caught out by the Blazing Duet. Going to help the Benedetta as he goes legendary, but maybe now. Oh, just fall back for the moment. And like you said, they can always go in for the backdoor divergence out there, and maybe has pulled in the attention way too much. Psycho catches him off.
Yeah, it looks like RRQ have adapted well. They're forcing the Burmese Ghouls to play their game, a very traditional, very classic of style here. They have to kind of get some pressure on towards the side lanes, but again, the macro coming up from RRQ in the lead. They have huge with the Blazing Duet as they take out one and now go for the second.
Wow, great dance down to land on top of members of the side. Hoshi and Electro has been popped up on top of Lemon as he flickers away, but he does not escape from the grasp of the Benedetta. RubyDD, as once he gets one, the mid lane now exposed, but at least Burmese Ghouls, they finally catch a couple of members of RRQ.
Good news and bad news. Good is they shut down Albert. Bad news is they lost all of their out of the base turrets. They only have inhibitors left, so the rest of the map is open. It's going to be hard to go for Lord contest. It's going to be hard to go for wave clear. It's going to be hard to even get your own buffs. So slowly but surely, I think the Burmese Ghouls here are going to want to make sure that they take what they can while Albert is out. But hold up, that's a cancel diversion. In goes Psycho.
Oh, Psycho tries to actually goes in for the Lord Steal attempt, but here comes Vin as well. He's catching on towards Kid, but it's not enough. Brilliant's being popped. He's going to be safe. Burmese Ghouls, they do get the Lord. Big news for the Myanmar side as they do have to play the Spur, and they are preparing for a comeback.
Vin. I mean, Vin was trying to do his very best to try to chunk out the main damage dealer, going to be Kid and Ace on their side of the map. But I think overall, very desperate attempt. He probably should have played a little bit towards the back line, waited for R7, and maybe could have potentially baited Burmese Ghouls into a fight that they weren't expecting to get that pick. However, now that that is done, Lord is going to be knocking on their door, and let's see how Burmese Ghouls maximize their goal, because this was their comeback mechanic.
Yeah, it's reminiscent of game number 1 where, you know, once they get that Lord, they will be able to just get a lot more of that macro pressure going on. And speaking of macro pressure, you look at RubyDD all the way up towards the mid side. He uses the Electo, not really the direction that he could possibly get any sort of a way to escape, but the Lord already knocking on towards the top side here, and it seems like they will be able to save it.
Also, check out R7. He's just working, man. He's just working, pushing up this wave, and in comes D. If anyone can afford to, like, check into things, it should be maybe. It should be D. But hold up, Kid gets destroyed.
Oh, that's a big one coming in. He just shouldn't build his way in. And, well, of course, he did use his Wear the Dragon, but here comes Psycho locking in D with their Imperial Justice as D will be able to walk out alive. But the rest of the members of BG, they're focusing their attention on a split 2-2, as the other members just trying to see whether or not will they just dive right in.
I think RubyDD should take care of himself more. Again, that whole defense that turned into the Albert shutdown and eventually into the Lord was only because RubyDD performed. RubyDD did so well, and I think if they can protect him a little more and again tell him not to go too deep, maybe 1 or 2 more team fights that go that way, then yeah, Burmese Ghouls can reclaim the map. But right now, if there's another pick off on RubyDD, RRQ Hoshi is looking at a quick finish after that.
Yeah, and I think I would totally agree with you there, Leo, because again, RRQ, they've got the better front-to-front combat system against Burmese Ghouls. Burmese Ghouls need to get in towards that backside. They need to take out Albert. Albert is gigantic, and he's going to be so hard to catch. He's 8-1 unless he makes a mistake with his Blazing Duet, which he doesn't necessarily even need most of the fights.
Yeah, you can already see RRQ Hoshi is on an automation mode itself. Like, they're so comfortable with this recent meta, and R7 could definitely buy as much time as he wants from all these sort of side lanes, do exactly what RRQ Hoshi does best, you know, just pressure from both left and the right wing, and now Vin also gets his big purchases.
You know what? I'd like to add to what you just said. Comfortable in this current meta. I'd like to think they're pushing the meta. Save for that whole Diggy thing, like that's a Burmese thing. But for our RQ here, games, they've also shown us quite a bit of what they're capable of when they're trying to get creative. But right now, this is just bread and butter. Gotta point out as well, the unsung hero here, Vin. A lot of these engages, a lot of these team fights, a lot of these free pickoffs would not happen without Vin.
That's right, and of course, very fair point right there. And I definitely think that Vin has been able to actually go in to just set up a great sort of engagement opportunity for the side of RRQ alongside with Psycho, and you could evidently see like easily he managed to just participate in 16 of these fights.
Ooh.
I think they need to just slow it down. I mean, like, RRQ Hoshi is just literally waiting for the Lord to come up, have their win conditions at hand, and this is their last push. If Burmese Ghouls is able to defend it, then the gold is not going to matter, and this game is going to drag on until Kingdom Come, until somebody makes that mistake. And right now, R7, he's actually quite a force to be reckoned with, especially when he has Hydra in a 1v1 lane against RubyDD, who has a slight advantage only because of the battle spell.
Oh, speaking of which, this is where the Waiter Dragon will connect towards RubyDD, and in this 1v1, you can obviously see who exactly is winning the trades, as he will call for this to be breaking off. And with the Lord already being out there, RRQ Hoshi is having Albert just pulling the Lord out, while the rest of Burmese Ghouls, they're arriving towards the scene, and they does get a catch right here. But Lemon, he's really getting all the attention that they need for Albert to come right in for the Blazing Duet. The rest of the members of Burmese Ghouls, they're shredded down as they melt like butter. But Ace, they do get out of this one with a slither health, and D, he cannot really hold on for this defense.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Like, RubyDD is such a big part of this fight, and the fact that R7 just isolated him and now might take him out is such a big deal. Nice use of Sword Intent to run away. Another free dash here for our Benedetta. RubyDD, oh, he goes on for miles. This is a marathon for his life, and R7, he's not going to give up. He knows you're still there. Nice use of Electro Final Blow, going to be clearing the wave. Lord taken out off camera. Quick solo there by Albert, and this could go forever, and there's the knockout.
At the end of the day, RubyDD did his job, and that is, oh, we're losing the fight, clear the waves. You have no way to really pressure us until the Lord is up, and now that, you know, the Lord is down, that might, you know, change things just a little bit, but it buys enough time for the Burmese Ghouls to prepare for it. Okay, we're back off of our cooldowns, we're back alive in our base, and we can actually defend this properly.
If I really could just honor an MVP right now, like you said, it's R7, because he really pulled the entirety of the attention of RubyDD up to the point that, yeah, you might just go in for the split push, but if you can't get anywhere near the Lord, like they were attempting Lord, and they know that, okay, doesn't matter, this meta is already on the elastic of health, and you could just keep him there for a long time. But here comes the dive, and Psycho is trying to go in for the setup.
Yeah, he wants to go for a little bit more, but Lord, they're playing this slow. They're not looking to get those fights. They're saying, hey, give them the inhibitors. As long as we can get rid of this Lord, we have a great opportunity. Mid is going to be the next target here, but when is the fight going to start?
And speaking of which here, this might just be the end of it all if they don't take out the Lord. And with that, RRQ Hoshi breaks down the final inhibitor up towards the mid side, and now all doors being opened up for RRQ Hoshi to secure point number 1. But you can see Burmese Ghouls, they're looking to set up the perfect defense right here, maybe getting a chunk of health being taken out, but Lemon, they're in the middle of it all, and D almost dropping out as he tries to get his health all the way back up. But look at RubyDD finally going in for Electos. He tries to cut over on towards the back lines, and Finn, he does fall down with a slither of health still left. Mountain Chakra being popped up, they're going for Albert, and the Sandstorm goes in for that dive, but RRQ is prepared for this defense, and look at Finn, he's perfectly positioned. He might just be able to turn this one around. He goes down, he does have immortality to buy a few seconds off, and look at it. It's still 4 members still available for Burmese Ghouls for the defense.
That was a great fight for both sides here. RRQ finding the picks that they were looking for, Lemon doing a great job, R7 able to zone out the right targets, and Burmese Ghouls pulling back when necessary, but that's not all. They're going to fight one more time, trying to duke it out.
Maybe here going to be running away, but the Blink Duet has been called in by Albert, and Psycho takes down Ruby DD. Again, a very big key to this defense and the whole Burmese Ghouls agenda. And right now, that's 3 defenders left. 5 for RRQ Hoshi. They can smell blood. They know that it could end right here, right now, and it's looking grim for the Burmese Ghouls. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a fight you don't want to miss. That's down onto maybe. Oh, the knockout onto one more. Ace goes. That's going to be it. Game number 3. RRQ Hoshi is still in the upper bracket in this one.
Woo! The semifinals are looking good. RRQ managed to take another game, managed to take a game from the Burmese Ghouls.